I remember a time before the Cascade dried up. Here in Vertistello, the four nations of plant and bug people flourished and thrived. But the great waterfall that fed the land slowed to a trickle, revealing a vast salt sea and unknown islands. The only guide were the words of the 13 dried carvings. The water will slow to fall, but the tides are turning. Find the infinite lake to replenish the world and discover the salmon who will grant you a wish of whatever you desire. This marks the beginning of the tide, as many green folk hauled onto ships to find the infinite lake and maybe riches, adventure, excitement, and purpose along the way. And what exactly is a salmon? Is that a berry? That was 50 years ago, and the tide rushes forward ever still. There are many stories caught on the wind between sails, but why don't we hear just one? Of a butterfly gunman with clipped wings, a ripened and explosive piece of produce, and a witch made out of tea. This is Join the Party, Camp-Paign 3, The Rising Tide.
I'll sing you a song that all green folk know.
Until the water falls home.
That only began 50 years ago.
Until the water falls home.
We seek the deep lake and a wish-granting salmon.
Until the water falls home.
So hoist up the sails and load up the cannons.
Until the water falls home.
A rush from the tide, sail through the Cascade, an adventure of ships, a ceaseless parade. I dream of roots buried in the deep below, but we can't well sleep till the water falls home.
I know we made a theme song that has lyrics now, but now I was trying to think of, like, to start this arc by doing, like, the Join the Party theme song and try to put lyrics into it. Like, we're on a boat, we're sailing out, it's Kimmy, Troy, and Umbi. They have two keys, there's one more there, and one's alive and having fun. Wow, wow, pow, 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 pow.
Eric, you waited 45 fucking episodes to give me these hot lyrics. Why did we make a theme song? Throw this shit away. Put that in there.
Re-record it all.
8-person sea shanty, throw it away. Throw it away.
Yeah. Lauren, you gotta sing this. Lauren, Rue, Tyler, come here. Come here, we're singing this.
No, it's just going to be Eric.
Huh. Make sure to put me going, huh, in there as well.
Eric, that's secretly, it's like the Wilhelm scream of the JTP episode. That's in every episode.
Be going, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Who can say?
Oh, it's not true. I wish it was
It's a theme
true.
song, so.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a good point. Before we can go on and start some new stuff that I wanted to get into, you all owe me some level ups that I want to hear the wild shit that you're going to do to me in the future.
Ooh. Okay. Anytime you want to level us up, we'll level up. We're fine with that.
So we haven't talked about it, but y'all leveled up a few episodes ago during the skill tree, but now we finally have time to, like, settle in, see how you're going to mess with me in the future, like, just curl up under a blanket, get cozy.
Mm-hmm.
And plot.
Yeah. Julia, why don't you start? Because you're the most likely person to make me wake up as if I'm having a nightmare.
That's true. So Cammy got two kind of important things besides, the usual kind of level up stuff. My HP is at 80 now. Cammy's super beefy.
Ooh.
And I now have an additional 5th level spell and now a 6th level spell, which I don't think I've ever played a spellcaster who's gotten this high in spellcasting ability before. So I'm very excited about that.
That's pretty good.
But in terms of witch stuff, I got a specifically tea magic witch thing, which is called Herbal Remedy, which at 10th level you can cast the spell Greater Restoration without expending a spell slot or material components. Once you use this ability, you must finish a short or long rest before using it again.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, that's helpful.
In my mind, Greater Restoration was always kind of like a not as good healing spell because it doesn't cure HP and stuff, and we typically don't deal with exhaustion in our campaigns.
Sure.
But it does other things that I didn't know about, which is it can remove a level of exhaustion, but it can also remove the charmed or petrified effect from someone. It can remove a reduction of ability scores or a reduction of maximum hit points.
Ooh.
And most importantly, I think to Cammy, it can also remove a curse.
Hey.
You're just always walking around removing curses, huh?
It's very important to Cammy.
Julia, would you consider making your biker name Julia the Cursebreaker Schifini?
Oh.
Because I know we have lots of really good options, mostly revolving around Italian dishes, but I do have to just put forth this one for consideration.
No, that's a very good point. I will take it under advisement.
You're welcome.
I'm going to start, to balance it out, I think I should start giving myself, German food nicknames, like Brandon the Schnitzel Grugle.
Yeah.
That's Brandon.
That's him. He's the schnitzel.
That sounds like a wrestler from 1950.
Yeah, hey, Spetzel on the beat. Spetzel on the beat. Spetzel on the beat on this one.
DJ Mustard and Spetzel working together?
I mean, sounds delicious.
Oh, let's go.
And then my only other thing that I got is kind of a big deal, but I don't want to reveal too much because I want to get into shenanigans with it.
Classic.
But Cammy has gotten to the level now where she can cast grand hexes.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck yeah.
Which is basically you have perfected deeply malevolent forms of magic. You can learn one grand hex, and then you can learn others at additional spell levels.
Incredible.
I am not going to tell you what grand hex I took.
Oh, of course not.
We got a little peek of that in the live show one-shots.
That is
I'm
true. I
excited.
did not pick the same one that I picked for the live shows. I will tell you that
Oh
right
my
now.
God, look at these. There's some wild
Yeah, here's some
ones.
examples. You have a cauldron that allows you to brew a bunch of different potions. I didn't want to step on Brandon's territory, so that's not one of the ones I picked. You can create a coven, which allows you to indoctrinate members like NPCs into your coven, and they can cast spells at a certain level.
That's
pretty
cool as
cool.
fuck.
Poison apple is basically I can create a Snow White and Seven Dwarfs poison apple that can basically either harm or help people.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting ones in here for sure.
There's 2 or 3 I think you're gonna do, and all of them are going to wreck my shit. So we'll
I wanna hear which
come back to
ones.
that.
Which ones do you think I'm gonna wreck your shit with?
No, I'm not gonna say anything. So I
Okay.
don't know what you're talking about. I'm
Okay.
looking at the poison apple one. I think it's funny that the apple can either be ruby red, golden, or the appearance of crystal.
Uh-huh.
Not actual crystal, though.
No, the
The
appearance.
appearance of crystal.
The 3 genders.
Eric, I'll tell you right now, I didn't do Witch's Hut because I liked the idea of maybe turning the ship into the Witch's Hut, but then you said it was not small enough, and I was like, okay, fair enough. Well,
Oh, yeah.
I have other things that I want to do instead.
Yeah. Amanda, why don't you go next? Because, if I wake up in the middle of the night, at least I can turn over and be like, I was thinking about Julia playing and join the party.
And I'll say classic and then keep sleeping.
Yeah, and then I'll have to go to the bathroom while you go back to sleep.
Absolutely. So my hit points are a little beefier, towards up to 81 hit points. And
Woo.
excitingly, my risk die have advanced from D8s to D10s.
Oh.
So now whenever I roll a risk die to add or subtract from a given roll, it is even higher, which I'm very excited about. 2 things mainly. First is a gunslinger feat called Man Killer, meaning I can add my dexterity ability modifier to any ranged firearm damage rolls.
Oh, yeah.
So in my case, it's an extra +2. Not huge, but I'll take it. And then I also get a new thing I can use those risk die on called Deft Deflectionist. When a creature I can see makes a ranged weapon attack against me, I can attempt to deflect the projectile by shooting it out of the air. As a reaction,
That's the most Troy thing I've ever heard. They're like, hold on. Pew!
just as a reaction, just over his shoulder, just off to the side, barely looking, make a ranged attack with my firearm. If the result of my roll is greater than the result of the attacker, the attack has disadvantage.
Wait, that's that cool monk shit.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I love that.
And best of all, in my mind, I can choose to use this after the creature makes the roll, but before the GM determines if it hits.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a real using shield as a reaction.
Yeah.
Spellcasters are able to do. That's really cool.
That's so
Pretty
funny.
stoked.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, you can go last because you're the farthest away from me. So it's going to, the time change, I'll have more time to think about how you're going to mess with me.
But have you considered, Eric, you're 3 hours ahead of me. So by the time you're asleep, I'm still awake, and I can give you psychic nightmares easier.
No! I knew
no
that
psychic
Drowsy
nightmares.
and Hypno were based off of you.
Okay, well, starting with my HP as well. Anyone want to guess what my hit point maximum is now, or
I don't know. Is
Is
it
it-
like 7?
Is it like 70 plus or minus 1?
Amanda? Spot on. It's 69. What up?
Nice.
Figured.
The three of you have so little HP for level
I know.
11. That's crazy.
I think I'm pretty beefy for level 11.
For a
spellcaster.
spellcaster,
Yeah.
I mean generally.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally speaking. I've got two main things for my guy, my level up boy here. One of them is a field of study feature, and the other one is just a thing called evasion. So evasion is when I am subjected to an effect that allows me to make a dex saving throw to take only half damage. So anytime
Oh,
someone
Brandon.
attacks me,
Your Captain Troy has that too.
yeah. Oh, nice. I get to instead take no damage if I succeed and only half if I fail. So maybe Umbi, was training a la Karate Kid and learning from Troy of how to evade things.
I like this a lot because explosions are AoE. So it's like, now I'm better at not getting blown up by stuff. And that also applies to, like, I don't know, if like a big dragon blew
Yeah.
fire everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I like the Troy thing better, but I also like the idea of like a mad bomber just like throwing bombs and then trying to jump out of the way real quickly. And that's how
Yeah.
he trains.
It's like reverse hopscotch or something.
Yeah. And then I also got a field of study feature, which for me is called Blast Shield. I gain resistance to my choice of acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, and I change that selection whenever I finish a long rest,
Oh.
which is fine.
It requires a little bit of preparation on your behalf, but
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of, the resistance is great, but like, I don't know when we ever do that kind of specific thing of attacks, but
Oh, well, now I'm going to have to put all of these electric eels that I've made up.
Yeah, you never know.
Yes, no, but that has happened to us before, and like there is a sort of acidic effect from the dissolving belt, so we might run into biomes where that
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
can be useful.
You just got to write down which one you choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, the last thing I got was another type of bomb,
Oh no.
which I think is the best one, or the best addition. I went ahead and grabbed the Holy Bomb, which I add a few drops of holy water to my bomb's explosive contents. And it deals radiant damage instead of fire damage. The damage dice are d8s, unless the target is a celestial fiend or undead. If it's a celestial, it hits a d6, so it's weaker. If it's a fiend or an undead, which zombies are an undead, it's d12s.
Oh.
Ooh,
Fun.
Yeah,
interesting.
so a little bit beefier.
Tell me what a holy bomb looks like here.
Oh, well, Eric, it's clearly just a few drops of herbicide in there. Some weed killer, you know?
Oh, of course.
I was wondering, do you think there's some kind of ceremony in the religion of the planter where we sort of like honor the origin of all water as from the cascade?
That's pretty good.
Probably,
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of sexy. I like that.
Yeah, water stuff. Yeah, I think it's good. I do like the idea that like sometime in Overstock, it's like you just end up going through tons of boxes and archives and stuff, and you're like, oh, look at this. You find a vial of just like this nasty herbicide, and you're like, oh, this came from something from a long time ago. Seems bad. Gonna put it in a bomb. I found it.
That feels very Umbi to me. Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You found some herbicide at a thrift store and then decided to integrate it into your bombs.
Wow, I didn't realize this till now, but that thing that other people's parents would let them do at Burger King where you fill your soda drink with like lots of different kinds of soda from the soda fountain.
Oh, yeah.
It's very Umbi coded.
Very Umbi coded. Umbi is a 5-year-old in a McDonald's.
100%.
Yeah, what are the three of you doing at at a 1993 McDonald's?
Cammy is fully submerged in the ball pit, sorting through it.
You just see a little nose.
Umbi is complaining to the register person that there was one streak of iceberg lettuce on his hamburger, so he needs a new one.
That's the first thing you've bought in 5 hours. Yeah.
Troy is running around wearing another child's birthday crown, yelling, "I'm the little prince. I'm the little
Yes.
prince."
Yes. 100%.
And I'm eating the pizza that's at McDonald's.
McDonald's pizza, yes.
McDonald's pizza. It definitely happened. It definitely existed.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a break because I forgot my coffee, so I'm going to go get it.
Go.
Now, guys, when Eric gets back, we're going to throw him a party in character. Who is it for? Havana Tropicana?
Yes.
Is that fun?
Yes.
That is
good?
fun.
I'm all for it.
It's recording during the party has such Friday energy to me. Like I'm gonna be so weird after this recording.
Yeah. It's Tuesday at the restaurant.
Tuesday at the
Oh,
restaurant.
it's
for
truly
sure.
Tuesday at the restaurant. Like we have to do mandatory training
Yeah.
today. That's how it feels. Cool. All right. Hey, you want to get back to the action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Eric, real quick,
Yeah.
like we're all on the ship.
Sure.
And Havana Tropicana has waken up from the nap that he was taking, and he opens the door, and we're throwing him a surprise party. Havana!
Yay! We drew a lot of doctors, both women and men, and hung little banners on the top of the deck. Harold and Syl have spelled out "Congrats, Havana," on being a better doctor, and all of those words are very small because there's only so big. And we got a whole buffet of breakfast foods, including lots of liquids, because Havana is one of those who does not eat breakfast.
Cammy gives him a mug that says, "World's Best Doctor."
And Umbi accidentally slept through his alarm and didn't wake up in time for the party, so he stumbles in, and he definitely got Havana a gift ahead of time, and he didn't just like wrap up, a pair of used socks,
A bomb.
with a ribbon.
Can we gift Havana a bomb so he could use that in the future?
Yes, please.
Cool.
When you say surprise, Havana bursts into tears.
Happy tears?
Just overwhelmed surprise tears.
We're so proud of you, man.
I didn't care that I became a doctor.
Of course.
It's been such a long time. So many things have happened to me and you and us.
It's a real accomplishment, and you deserve this.
These are doctor socks.
There's like a montage of photos, and all of them have Havana crying.
I was going to say he's cried in every single one,
Yeah.
yes.
As we go on, we
Havana's doing that thing where he like can't catch his breath, where he's going, and he's trying to drink from like 3 glasses at the same time.
Troy rubs his back.
You got the hiccups. It's okay.
It says, from the time when I was thrown out on a mattress, and then you found me, and then you changed my name, and then we went to the bullseye games, and everything was bad there, and then we were in the labyrinth, and then I was doing that, and I thought I knew what I was doing. But then I did it, and then I got picked up by that bird that was also a monster.
Yeah.
And then the forest burned down, and then you took me back, and then I started being a doctor again, and then I've been working really hard on my play-by-post doctorate, and now I really am, and now I know how to revivify.
We're so proud of you.
We're so proud of you, man.
You did it.
I called it, it's not really revivify, I just like slam on your chest and hopefully you come back.
Sometimes that works.
Especially impressive given that you got to get all your mail by Sungoal.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah, I lost my midterm a bunch of times. I got 8.
Sometimes I forget that defibrillators in real life, when you attach the paddles, they talk you through how to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like fucking actual magic to me. And so I like to think that in this campaign, he just has like 2 stones that he puts on your chest, and then they talk to you like sending stones and tell you what to do.
No, Brandon, I think it's just the first thing. I think it's just the defibrillator, how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like he calls it revivify because he wants it to sound cooler, but he's just using a defibrillator.
That's great.
Good for him.
If someone comes up to you and asks, what's the technology quotient to magic of this campaign? That's what it is.
News by puppets, mail by bird, pre-iPhone, post 9/11. Yeah, that's us.
Stop reading my sweatshirt, Amanda.
I need a t-shirt that says that.
It has each to the first letter like bolded, like it's supposed to spell something. And
Like it's supposed to
smells like
spell it across.
It's just Pitney, baby. It's just Pitney.
Incredible. All right, so while you're throwing this breakfast graduation party, you are headed on your way out to follow Kidd Cervantes to the underwater prison. Woo! Kind of a recap, because you hit the start button and you kind of scrolled over to look at your inventory, because again, this is a JRPG. You have 2 of the keys, the key for a maze and the key that still hurts, which you remember you can't touch because it's all made out of thorns. Watch out.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Watch out, oops.
Oops. Uh-oh.
Do we just have to like juggle it between our hands like a hot rock?
I mean, if you want to.
No, just big glove.
Yeah.
Big glove. Big glove when handling key.
Yeah, but have y'all considered juggling between hands like hot rock?
Also good. I think, you know what, Julia, it's one of those things where, like, as you know how, like, grandmas can, like, pluck tea bags out of hot water and not scald themselves? It's like that. Umbi's that old.
Umbi's like balancing a giant thorn in the middle of his palm as it slowly starts to pierce through.
Yeah. I mean, Umbi is fruit leather when you think about it, so.
That's true.
That's true. The key in the sky is currently with Kidd Cervantes, who said that you could follow after him and help him get his brothers and sisters out of the underwater prison. If you so wanted to, he would give you the cloud key after he won it during the Bullseye games. And the key with the gaze is currently having some sort of Dunkin' Eggs situation with Archie, Archimedes 7s at the moment.
Eric, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
I remember when we got the key for the maze that you said that it had the ability, like a 1 in 4 chance of opening any door.
Sure.
Does the key that still hurts have the same ability or another ability that we don't know about?
Well, why don't you make an Arcana check?
I would love to.
Cammy Cassis.
I would
You're
love
so
to.
smart, Julia.
Thank you for asking. 13 plus 5 for a 18.
Great. Yeah, tell me what you're doing here. How are you examining this thing?
Cammy has big oven mitts on
Smart.
and is kind of just like turning it in front of her, being like, ooh. Ooh.
Can I tell you, Julia, I'm going to bump this up by a level of success, because wearing the oven mitts was probably the smartest thing you could have done.
Thank you. Oh, you mean it was smarter than ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
Ooch, 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 ooch. Because here's the thing, is that, yes, it's not as good at it, 1 in 10. The thing that you can do with this, and I think it's important because you're watching what Umbi was doing by messing around going ooch, and the thorns were almost like moving towards Umbi's hand as he's messing around with this thing.
Didn't like
but
that.
But of course his flesh is more leather than flesh at this point.
Burned to a crisp.
So it took a little bit longer to do. So the thorns surround the entire handle of the key, and they're pointing in all directions. Some of them are long, and some of them are quite long, like a foot long, and some of them are quite short. It's like a cacophony of stems of rose bushes, I guess is what I would say.
Gotcha.
Asymmetrical sea urchin.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude.
Interesting.
Hell yeah, dude. So if you allowed yourself to, the thorns of the key that still hurts could, in fact, attach to you, and it would provide you a bonus to the things that you would like to do. The main ways that you employ power and strength in combat upon others. Now, you would have to have the key bond to you in the way that it does, as it would still hurt as it is. But I would say that it would certainly provide a bonus to anyone who decided and wanted that to be.
Okay. Interesting. I don't think any of us should do that because I'm not sure mechanically how bad that's going to hurt and how quickly we'll go to 0.
Really? Because
Yeah.
Troy really wants to.
Troy,
don't.
But between my wings, it is so itchy.
this will make it more itchy, I think. I think more itchy.
But I could scratch against it.
You know when you scratch an itch so hard that you end up hurting yourself?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Havana like puts Troy's medical record off to the side.
I don't want it.
Havana's already pulling out calamine lotion.
Yeah, good call, good call.
Okay, I'm just saying, if anyone comes after one of you again, I have not been able to do anything about it, so, maybe I should. Be helpful for once. God.
I think you've done a lot of helpful things, Troy.
Shut up. Troy's weeping.
I won't.
No, you're
I
gonna
won't
start
want
crying. I'm gonna
compliments.
start crying.
Everybody stop fucking crying.
And then Amanda starts crying. And then Syl and Hal start crying. And like, it's so cute the way that they care about each other.
All right, I believe it.
I think we've all gone through a lot recently, and that's why we're all a little bit emotional and on edge.
Yeah.
But I don't think
Who's
that...
on edge, Cammy?
Not me! The guy holding the bombs! I'm sorry. I love Umbi so much. I wish he was my NPC.
But I don't think that maybe potentially permanently attaching keys to ourselves is the way to go about dealing with those emotions and feelings.
You're right, Cammy. God, you're so smart. Because, like, when we have to give them to the salmon, I don't want to be given to the salmon. I want to talk to the salmon and then leave.
A great point. Yes.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The key to still hurt sounds like one of those like medieval torture coffin things with the spikes on it. What are those
Oh,
called?
real. Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Do you think there's like a colony of like roses somewhere, or like rose folk somewhere that's how they like defeat their enemies with like thorns?
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm sure there's a house in the Crags that does this. 100%.
Yeah, I was going to say that also could be like a cool, like, from the past separatist movement. Like, not the one that is in Le Mans now, but rather like a separate, like, to the north Snow Roses house or something like that. That'd be
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. No, I'm sure there's like, in like a region of the Crags, there's like one house that does this that's like particularly nasty.
Ooh, like the Swamp Roses.
I mean, it's literally like what is that one of those British houses were literally the Rose Peoples.
Mm-hmm. War of the
So-
Roses.
Yeah.
Eric, that's really fucked up. I can't believe you would bring that up and talk about it so much.
The War of the Roses?
Too soon. Too soon.
Yeah. It's weird. One of the houses has the sigil of the flayed man. That's so weird. Why would that be in the Crags? That's so odd. Hell yeah. Okay.
While we're checking out our keys, I would love for someone who doesn't have 0 intelligence and wisdom to check again on the mold plans. So we came away with one physical mold that we reverse engineered the plans from, right?
Yes.
I think we should try to make a key so that we have some diversion duplicate copies if it comes to it, and also just to see how close this mold is to working, because we don't know if it's functional or not.
Yeah, I imagine we have time following Kidd Cervantes to the underwater prison, wherever that may be. So maybe that's a project for the intelligence and wisdom people on the crew.
Yeah,
So, Umbi.
as we go where we go, I think that would be interesting to try to cook up a couple passable key copies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about the mold is that now that you're kind of, I don't think you've ever like inspected it or poked around it all that much, because it's like you had it and you're like, this thing is wild. And then you're like, I'm going to keep it and not look at it. Like when you get mail from the electric company.
Right, exactly.
True.
So, I mean, if you guys all want to look at it and see what's up, like what do you have to do with it? You could make some checks,
Yeah.
kind of look into it.
What would that be?
Is now a good time?
Yeah, you could do that while you're sailing, for sure.
Let's do it.
I would say it's probably something like wisdom or intelligence.
Okay.
Because neither of the three of you are not crafters. So you're just like looking at this stuff, looking at it however you're going to look at it.
I rolled a 16 plus 3 for a 19.
Well, it doesn't matter, Julia, because Umbi walks over there and says, "Step back!" Because I rolled a natural 20 plus 4.
I was going to say, and then it explodes because Umbi rolled a 1.
It's like he suddenly for a second, it's like he had a cape on and he like swished it and you're like, where did he get a cape? And then you look back and it's like he never had a cape.
No.
Amazing. Trick of the
We
light. trick of the
imagined
light.
it. It was a trick of the light.
And for a second you look at Bartlett and it's like he looks like a normal parrot and like not a fucked up patchwork parrot.
Bartlett, you're not rotting at all.
And then we look at him again. He's dry as a bone.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, he is.
Like, oh, there he is.
Crack.
A wing falls off and then
Yeah, wink falls
Umbi
off.
shoves it back in.
Like just kind of pushes it back together.
Yeah. Okay, here's what you need to make a key. You need stuff to put in the mold.
Okay.
Then you need it to be cooked to the right temperature. And then you got to finish it off by cooling it. And because it's a key, you got to make sure it's exactly the right shape. So even, when you get a new key from the hardware store, when you lose something, and if you give them an old key and that's the copy they're trying to make off of it, it doesn't work as well.
The copy's been worn down. And
Right, because it's making a copy of your key, regardless of how that key fits into the lock, right? I'm going to say this, because this is what you get with a nat 20. Does this mold fit into any of the locks, whatever that is, that does the thing that leads to the salmon? That's a really good question that I don't think you have the answer to, and it's almost like you walk up to this and it's like, I don't know how to drive stick. Like, what do you mean? So it's like, what is this mold for? In everything you have right now, especially in the plans, there's no information about what key this is supposed to do. It's almost like this mold was general.
Interesting.
This was a general test of a mold to make keys that are theoretically the size that could fit into a lock if they knew what the locks were.
It's so funny because I'm feeling so defensive because of the ON episode. I'm like, no, the mold's really good, Eric, actually.
That's a very good point.
They worked really hard in that.
Here's the other thing with the nat 20, is that's, Julia, you're absolutely correct. Remember when you guys grabbed this? This was a whole hell of a long time ago. And this was being moved from one place to another, pretending it was an overstock merchant ship. But really, it was a hothouse moving from one place to another thing. Does this mold even work is a very good question that you need to ask yourself.
Interesting.
Am I the only person that just realized that Eric has been doing keys and salmons to be able to make a locks joke? Or
Damn.
is that the whole thing you were trying to do?
I don't know, man. Whatever.
I thought you were reaching for the glove because I couldn't see your other side when you were grabbing your water just then. I was like, you motherfucker, get out of here.
The part of the thing about being a GM is that you take credit for things people say you're doing. So it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe. Maybe.
I'm going to say.
Hello, everybody. It's Amanda. I would love to welcome our newest patron to the show, Lord Manuel. Incredible name, incredible spelling, incredible decision to take a few bucks of your hard-earned human capital and spend it with us here on Join the Party. We could not make the show if we did not have your support on Patreon, full stop. And we love making the show, and we love talking to you, and we love the community we have built here. So if you have some dollars to spare and you're able to support us with your money, we would love for you to do so. And in exchange, you get things like ad-free episodes and an additional bi-weekly podcast we make called Party Planning, plus, of course, access to the Discord, the very, very best place on the internet. You can do all of that and more at patreon.com/jointhepartypod. This week at Multitude, I have been absolutely loving Pale Blue Pod, the astronomy podcast for people who are overwhelmed by the universe but want to be its friend. There have been so many cosmological phenomena happening this year. There have been eclipses and meteors and sun flares, and I personally went to the Arctic Circle and saw the midnight sun, which is absolutely incredible. And I feel like I have so much more understanding and appreciation of why all that stuff happens and how incredible it is that life exists at all, frankly, because of Pale Blue Pod, where astrophysicist Dr. Moya McTeer and her friend, the writer and comedian Corinne Caputo, demystify space one topic at a time. If you're somebody who's like, wow, the idea of space is simultaneously both kind of amazing and completely overwhelming, the show is made exactly for you. You should totally go and listen to any episode of your choice. There are dozens and dozens for you to check out, from learning about specific telescopes and observatories to interviewing other space professionals to teaching you about what the heck an exoplanet or a black hole actually is. They have new episodes every Monday, edited by our editrix, Misha Stanton. You are going to love Pale Blue Pod. So go to palebluepod.space to learn more. It's a very cute website. Corinne made it. Or go and listen to Pale Blue Pod in your podcast app now. We are sponsored this week by Queer Kid Stuff by Lynn Zamer, my longtime friend, who is rebooting their award-winning LGBTQ plus preschool web series to combat hate and spread queer joy. Now, if you listen to the show, there's a pretty good chance that you know that it's in some ways a uniquely terrifying and difficult time for LGBTQ folks. There are LGBTQ plus hate crimes and actions and speech on the rise. So it's really crucial that we have joy forward all ages entertainment to affirm and celebrate LGBTQ plus young people, their families, and allies. Linz is somebody who has taught me a hell of a lot about being queer, about queer education, about how to talk to and about queerness with kids. And I think it's super important that you help Linz bring back this really essential thing, which is age-appropriate gender and sexuality affirming education for kids. I wish this kind of thing existed when I was little. Would have saved me a lot of guilty nights and kind of frantic Googling. And you may know Linz from their viral TED Talk, their LGBTQ plus affirming parenting book. They literally wrote the book on how to parent and talk to queer kids, and their podcast picture book, all kinds of things. They are a prolific educator, entertainer, and the way I got to know their work was via Queer Kid Stuff, their incredible web series that they started over 10 years ago. So they are trying to raise $75,000 to bring back Queer Kids Stuff bigger and better than ever. They want to reboot the web series because right now, today in 2024, it's essential that we have affirming, joy-forward queer education for kids and allies and their families. So go on over to queerkidstuff.com, check out the work Linz does. There is so much there for you to enjoy and send to parents and kids in your lives. And if you want to check out their Kickstarter, there is a link in the description. Please go ahead, click it, check it out. If you can't back them with money, then help spread the word. Very grateful to Linz for trusting us to help promote this campaign and just for the work they do in the world. So thank you, Linz. And now let's get back to the show.
I'm not sure that this is actually, maybe this is like a versioning thing, like it's an iteration on a final product. This might not be like 100% correct yet.
Yeah. And the blueprints say so. This is like just mold. This is just mold. It's not like specific key molds, especially now that you know the names of all the keys and you've seen all 4 of them now.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this for? I don't know. But to Troy's point, you can make something with it. You'd also just like, you got to do some welding.
Maybe Gloria would have some tips about
Yeah, I
how
was
to
gonna
use
say.
this thing.
Yeah, Gloria seems like someone who could do something with this and not
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. I mean, I could throw some, like, iron ore in there and something, and then if I heat it up, I'm pretty sure it'd explode, so I don't know.
Fair.
We could like melt some cannonballs? Question mark?
No!
No? Okay. If you say so. I don't even think we could get it hot enough on this ship to melt a cannonball.
I feel like the ship would be light on fire before it heated up enough.
Yeah.
No, it's a good idea to have Gloria do it. She, hammers metal all day.
With her shrimpy little arms.
I was told that if anyone starts to talk about lighting the ship on fire, you told me that I was supposed to say no. So I'm doing that.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
reminding us.
No.
Thank you. That's our fire alarm.
Sometimes it goes off in the middle of the night because he just yells, no!
No.
Sometimes when we
Stop
a lot of
it.
times when we cook, he just starts saying no. I'm confused whether or not he doesn't want the meal or if he thinks that there's a fire.
No, it's getting too close to lighting the ship on fire. Stop it. Stop using the wok like that. It's not supposed to work like that.
There's too many grease-laden steam particles in the air. Oh, no!
No, it's getting into the wood. That's bad. Wonderful. All right, I think that you have a decision to make, as Kidd Cervantes said. I think you're kind of like puttering forward in the general direction of where Kidd Cervantes went. I think that as you're figuring this out, and you threw a party for Havana, and you're figuring out what's going on with the mold and what's going on with the key, you're kind of like generally going towards that general direction. Would be fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you still have the decision of going and doing something else or trying to follow in Kidd Cervantes' wake here.
I think we should follow in the wake, right? Like, that
Yeah.
seems like the most direct path to following where they may be.
Yeah, I don't know what else. Do we have any other options, really? I mean, like...
I have no problem with Kidd knowing we're following him or others. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Theoretically, we could go back to the hold or something like that before going out. But I think just going is good. I feel confident.
Cool.
Yeah, same.
And also, I don't want to run into Lucky Edie again.
No, that's fair. Wonderful. All right, yeah. You have full steam ahead?
Full steam ahead, baby.
Full steam ahead. I think one of you can like get up in the crow's nest and look out on your spyglass, and you see that there's just, like submerged ships just sliding into the water. We're like, oh, probably that way.
That looks like a path of destruction.
For sure.
Very helpful.
Who wants to hop up in the crow's nest and look out for the path of destruction?
That would be me.
All right, perception check, my friend.
Perception.
Why would I choose survival? Why would I choose survival as my proficiency? Why would I do that?
Survival is for tying knots and trying not to drown. So pretty good. Theoretically pretty good.
Thank you.
It's only a 10 plus 3 for a 13.
All right, 13. Let's go towards where that ship, where those ships have slid into the water, huh?
Seems good.
What if I toss a spyglass up? Like if I clean or Cammy spyglass or something, could I use the help action?
No, I think it's like you guys are all doing ship stuff.
Can Nani
man.
also give me the help action? I have a little spyglass for her as established in like the second episode.
So cute.
Fine. All right, roll with advantage. Fine.
All right, it's a 14 plus 3 for a 17.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, I think that you metaphorically see the flag at the top of a ship that has the insignia of the diamond knot slide into the water. Both fire and water destroying the ship at the same time. Dang, you really beefed it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Incredible.
All right. Wow.
All right, well, you're charging that way. I have a little thing that we're going to do. I have some possible things that might happen as you're following Kidd Cervantes' destructive wake.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So, who wants to roll a d6?
Yeah. That's how Troy says me.
Evander does.
3.
3. Everyone is doing their ship thing. I think this is like when we do our ship combat thing, how like everyone's at their various stations. Mm-hmm. What are you doing, Troy?
Oh, Troy's standing at the wheel, bouncing his pumpy in a upgraded carrier. And just kind of like looking out, thinking about how he can foreground any attacks or problems. It feels really good to have a standalone mission that isn't just sailing into the unknown, but, repaying a favor and looking out for Kidd. Plus, busting people out of jail is fun.
That is true.
So he's feeling good.
Yeah. Troy, as you're trying to find your next, as you and Cammy are aligning yourself, trying to find your next kind of target, you're playing connect the dots with the
Yes.
ship destruction ahead of you.
It probably takes a little more concentration than usual on account of all the debris.
Yeah. There is you spy a weird lump of goop that is coming up on the port side of the ship.
Hey, Harold, can you get some eyes on that? Port side?
Yeah. That's a weird lump of goop.
Nothing more, not to be offensive, but I thought you might know a little more about goops than me.
What, because I'm goop?
Yeah.
What, do you think that's my cousin who's in there who just happens to be in the water?
Nah, but I thought you might be able to look at the goop and be like, nice.
That's what I said. Nice,
Oh,
it's
all
goop.
right, all right.
No, it's goop. Nice goop. Cool.
Can I don't know, roll maybe a history check if I've encountered anything similar?
You can roll nature if you want to see what it is.
Roll a goop check.
Oh, a goop check. In that case, no. Just a 3.
A 3? That's some goop. That's some water goop.
Yeah.
That's some goop in the water.
Troy looks at Cammy and goes, nice, some goop.
Can I look at the goop?
Yeah, you can look at the goop.
Can I make like a nature check?
Yeah,
on
you can
this?
make a nature check, yeah.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Thank God.
What's his goop?
Again,
Plus 5 for nature.
If any of us want to revisit Troy impaling himself on the key with a gaze, we can do that.
No, we don't need to do that, buddy. It's okay.
Troy looks over in like a velvet sack where you're keeping the key for a gaze. And you're like, what if I did that?
could be better.
What if I did that? I could do that.
No.
Look at me. Yeah, you look over. That is so. Oh God, I didn't even think of what I was.
If you say that's some goop, I will
That's some
throw you
goop.
out of a window.
True. Cammy, just even from a sidelong glance, you're like, hold on, that's a goop of ambergris floating in there. You turn that stuff into amber. You process that. Take a little time. You can just pick that up. That's some ambergris.
Harold, that's the most important kind of goop.
I said it was goop.
That's it was an amber goop.
I can't see what it's gray. It's not amber.
Mission recovery.
Scoop the goop.
Scoop the goop.
Okay. So for all of these events that are happening, you have a choice here. So for this one is pretty. You can either decide to ignore the goop that's floating in the water, or you can scoop it.
I want to scoop the goop.
I want to scoop that goop.
You want to scoop the goop?
Yes.
Okay.
Scoop that goop.
Scoop that goop. All right. So you want to pull over and scoop the goop?
Yes, please.
All right. Tell me how you scoop the goop.
All right, shoppers, for an extra 10 seconds in your supermarket sweep, we are going to grab our special net that we have in case Havana topples overboard and scoop up the goop.
Scoop the goop. Now, if only there was something with like knots or nets. Actually, Troy, can I get a survival check, please?
Don't let me down.
Can I also make a suggestion?
It's an 11, 7 plus 4. What's up?
Great job, buddy.
Just
Thank you.
throw the net in there. Yeah, try to haul the goop.
Amanda, you thought you were like, oh, it's a pirate campaign. We're going to be out at sea a lot. I'll probably have to make a lot of survival checks. I understand. I get it.
Fair.
Thank you.
May I suggest we use Troy's other proficiency and use a barrel to scoop it? Because I'm worried with just a net, it's goop,
Oh,
so it might
Julia.
go through the holes.
Sure.
I think you're totally right that it's a half barrel on a pole, so we can reach down, scoop it up.
It
Yeah.
is the world's largest pool skimmer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that
That's
makes
what we're
sense.
looking at.
That makes sense. I
Love
like it. Yeah. All of you've gathered pretty much everyone on board to help you scoop this goop.
Yes.
So I know you don't typically add a double proficiency bonus, but if I did, that would be a 15 because I'm proficient.
Oh, for
in
barrels as well. Got
Yeah.
it. No, I got you.
I think Troy at this point has expertise in barrels. That's my hot take.
You were this is like Deadliest Catch style,
Yeah, man.
pulling up the goop no matter what, because your entire livelihood is based on the scoop. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think Umbi was actually just down in the cannon thing, and he's like got his feet up on the cannon, just singing like 99 bottles, and then he sees just half a barrel on a stick go by his window, and he's
Out
like,
of the porthole.
You just hear everyone on deck going, scoop the goop, scoop the goop.
Heave on scoop, scoop. Heave on goop, goop.
Eric, would you like a little gross sea fact?
Sure.
So there is something called marine mucilage, also referred to as sea snot or sea saliva.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Is that weirder than this is the stuff that hangs out in Amber Whales's brain?
I don't know.
And then we turn it into other stuff?
I don't know. They're
Maybe.
both bad.
They're
Yeah.
both bad. Is either of those better than calling granola muesli?
No.
No.
No, that's pretty bad.
Listen, if ambergris was marketed by two middle-aged women laughing on a box, then maybe. But muesli has that going for it. They have the Kashi best friends. You can scoop that goop.
Yay!
Hell
how much,
yeah.
How much ambergris do we got here?
When you process
Just give me it, Eric, in terms
When
of like
you-
half barrels.
when you process it, you can turn this into 3 amber.
Yo!
Hey!
Hell yes.
Troy's like, looting all those bodies gave us 3 amber. It's amazing. So much less work.
Wow. Yeah, that took a lot of time.
From below deck, you hear Umbi go, "Dibs!"
He's just
didn't-
going to use
I
it to
didn't hear
dig and
anything.
roll again.
I didn't hear anything.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything either.
As a doctor, I didn't hear anything with my ears.
I like that he's got the doctor voice back now that he's not emotional.
Yeah. Give me another perception check. Let's find a new heading for us, Cammy.
All right. 7 plus 3 for a 10.
For a 10.
Can
All right.
Nani give me a help action?
Nani can help you.
We're going to go with 7 plus 3 for a 10.
Whoa, simply for a 10. Yeah, you're finding a new heading. There's some smoke in the distance. Probably that way.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
Probably that way. All right, because Cammy is finding a heading, let's do Brandon. Why don't you give me a d6?
Okay.
Roll to see what happens next.
2.
Hell yes. All right, Umbi, you are readying the cannons, massaging them, making sure they're happy, telling them sweet nothings.
Is that how you keep cannons happy?
You made it a lot less sexual than I expected it to be, Eric. If you could up the...
Yeah, cannons love sweet nothings.
And you might need to get ready because you see some boats to your north starboard side.
Oh no!
It seems like some tugboats are pulling up some wreckage that have dashed against the rocks of a pretty rocky, inhospitable island. From what you can see, it's just like big craggy rocks as the the waves are sloshing against it. So they're finding it hard to pull up on any sort of like mooring or any sort of dock or any sort of shore because it's just all rocky over there. But there are 3 tugboats that are pulling it up.
Well, as Teddy Roosevelt, it already works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As Teddy Roosevelt once said, Umbi likes to speak softly and carry a big cannon. So he's going to load the cannon, sort of stick it out of the cannon porthole thingy, and then also pop his head out so you can see both his head and the cannon and be like,
Ahoy, mateys! Do you need a hand?
That's funny. That's something I didn't think you would do.
you didn't think I would speak softly and carry a big cannon?
I actually do have a single helpful thing from Troy's background, which is that I can find a safe place to dock any boat, assuming one exists. So I can dock here, even though they're finding it hard if we need to.
Yo!
Good to know. Good to know.
That's great.
That's tight as hell.
This episode, you're just using all your one-off skills.
Yeah,
We love
baby.
it.
Yeah, you can do that if you want to. These 3 tugboats are like pulling just something. You can't really get a good sense of it because it's getting so caught up in trying to find a spot on these rocks. They're bobbing up and down. The waves are splashing over them, and you don't get a response from any of these 3 tugboats.
Troy pops his head down below and says, "Hey, Umbi, you want me to pull over there real quick?"
Comically, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, great.
Oh, yeah, no. I go over the railing, hang on with my feet. Harold and Syl are holding one of my ankles per, and then I put my head back in that same porthole.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think there might be some good finds there.
Hope my childhood best friend, who I have complicated feelings about, is not in this one. Haha. And then Troy goes back and just real quick, like I don't know, Eric Silver parking my dad's pickup truck in the streets of New York City. I don't know. Just like deftly kind of spins the wheel and using my steady feature, due to my background of mariner, I automatically find a safe route to land a boat on shore, provided such a route exists.
Yeah, they were coming at these rocks from like one way, but if you went another way, there was a little bit of a cove that is outside of the surf that you can pull your ship into.
Yeah, Troy does the equivalent of a quick little parallel park and loops the mooring lines and says, "Go ahead, Umbi, have fun."
Troy, have you been able to do this whole time? Shit, that was great. That was impressive.
That's why
Yeah.
he drives the boat.
Oh, right, yeah.
Weirdly, it's never come up.
Is there any like surface, like a beach?
Yeah. It's like you're up on this beach, but it's more like craggy moors that a Jane Austen or a Bronte would stand at the side of.
I have a better actually idea anyway. How far away is one of the closest tugboats to me? Would you say it's less than 30 feet?
No, I'd say it's farther than that.
Fuck. All right. Well, then I'm going to throw a little telebomb onto the moors and just hop over there.
Yeah, you can hop up there. Yeah, so now you're like looking down on this because again, they're just like slamming up against the rocks here, trying to. Because again, these tugboats, they're totally out of whack in terms of the weight because they're dragging this stuff behind them. They can't move anywhere. Now they just keep lapping and smashing up against the rocks here. And as you look down, you see that these are. All of the tugboats have on the sides of them the square grasped hands of the diamond knot.
Oh, shit.
And the 3 of them are carrying stuff behind them.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to telebomb back to our ship and say,
Battle stations! Let's take out those ships!
All right.
Okay. Wait, could you see what they were towing?
No, but I saw the diamond knot flag.
Okay.
Our grandest of enemy.
I think Cammy is going to get into battle position, but I think she's also going to send Nani into the water to see if she can scope out what's being towed behind the towboats.
oh, yeah, I could send Bartlett too. A little two-animal search crew.
Yeah, sure. Give me some investigation checks.
Okay. Another nat 20. Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
That is 14.
Cool. Well, yeah. What are you looking for with this investigation check?
I think just to see what the cargo is, right?
What they're towing and basically like what they're risking their lives for.
Sure. Each of these tugboats are pulling the wreckage of a ship behind them. These ships all look exactly the same. They seem to be of the same make and model. Might have even launched all at the same time. It certainly helps because it says, it's just going to say on the side of the ships, Key Recovery Unit.
Ooh.
The KRU.
Yeah, the KR, yeah. It's the Diamond Knot crew, of course.
The crew. Yeah.
These are 3 ships from the Key Recovery Unit. And of course, there are massive holes through all of them. So they've been all shot down by Kidd Cervantes.
Okay.
Now, is this a situation where people say something really nice sounding, but what they mean is something mean? You think?
Like in naming them
Like
the key
recovery? Like
Yeah.
that?
Oh.
That sounds nice, but I don't think it's nice.
The key pillaging unit, you mean?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stealing it.
Right?
Yeah.
Another thing that Eric, I think, intentionally meant to do is with the key recovery unit of the Diamond Knot, it does spell the DK crew, which sounds correct for Eric.
Right.
So that's pretty good.
You're like, oh, and there's the Captain Donkey and the rest of the crew, Diddy and whatnot.
And Bartlett, you might see that there are some ships coming up behind y'all, heading towards you. Maybe there's one big ship and maybe like 4 other kind of smaller ships that are all attached to each other by little lines. You notice that the ship, the flag on top, and the big mast and the smaller mast all have a bonsai tree. And in the bonsai tree is a skull and crossbones, which everyone knows as she flies it wherever she can. That is the symbol of Lucky Edie's money tree ship and the little money tree cuttings that she has bobbing alongside it. And it is coming up fast behind you.
Well, at this point, me and Bartlett have created a code because Bartlett has mimicry. So, like, he turns around quickly and makes the sound that they've agreed means Lucky Edie / money tree ahead. Ahoy.
A complicated series of Morse code. It's always Morse code, and it sounds beautiful coming from the mouth of a parrot, for sure.
Maybe a regular parrot, not Bartlett.
Guys, what if he's rough looking on the outside, but that voice is melodious? That
true.
voice sweet as honey.
Yeah.
He just is mimicking his owner, so it sounds a little bit rough.
Yeah.
I would like to have Nani,
Sure.
because I can cast spells through Nani. I would like Nani to use Eye of Anubis, which is basically like a little laser beam, to cut the tethers between the main money ship and the cuttings or the clippings.
Yeah, sure. Tell me about this.
So a beam of tenebrous, that's a great use of the word tenebrous. A beam of tenebrous moonlight streaks from your left eye towards a creature within range.
Great.
Make a ranged spell attack against the creature on a hit. It takes 1d8 necrotic damage and can't take the disengage action until the end of your next turn.
Why don't you give me an attack roll and with disadvantage, because this thing is still pretty far away.
Okay.
So this would be like a long-ranged attack, like what Troy would do if Troy was firing on an enemy who is outside of his range.
Sure.
So what do you do for this?
I roll a ranged spell attack.
Yeah, just do that with a disadvantage.
I would also like to know, I'm just going to add, I get additional beams and I deal more damage as I get higher because this is a cantrip.
Sure.
So it's the first beam is 2d8, and then I also get a second beam because I am at 11th level.
Cool. Sweet.
All right, cool.
Sick.
I rolled a 22 for the first one,
That's
Okay.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
and a 14 for the second one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. From long range, Nani shoots a beam of moonlight out of the water from like a long distance away, and it slices through one of the tethers that's holding one of these smaller ships to the money tree. Just slices it and it starts to like drift over to the left.
Bye-bye.
Incredible. All right, so what do you all want to do?
Maybe it's time to go? I don't know. What do y'all think? Can we fight? I don't know.
I can get us out of here. I feel like we should follow through on our mission of helping Kidd, and then we can murder this person.
Big agree.
Now, Umbi, what if we took one of our empty barrels, you put a lot of bombs in it, and then we let it float in the path of like where that ship is going to go? Would that be helpful?
Helpful for my ego and for the coolness of our lives? Hell yeah. Let's put a bunch of them in there, and then they'll think that they're like extra cargo to be taken from these wrecked ships, and then they'll pick them up onto their decks.
Yeah,
and then they
that's
will
good.
explode in
Yeah.
their faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we like unscrew the end of the broomstick from the half barrel and use that? Because it probably still has some goop from the amber in it.
That's a really good idea. It sounds like one ship is trying to do something to another ship, and maybe that other ship might be trying to do something to that first ship. So let's take out some ship combat rock, paper, scissors cards and figure out how this is going to shake out, okay?
Oh, you mean these cards?
I do mean those cards. So here's what we're going to do. Because Lucky Edie wants to do something as well. right? So depending on who wins rock, paper, scissors, if the money tree wins, it's going to do something. If the sea whip wins, then you're going to drop this bomb-filled cargo, and Lucky Edie will fall for it. And if we tie, then we have a mixed success, and both things will happen.
Cool.
Okay?
All right.
Who would like to rock, paper, scissors me?
I'll let Amanda do it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know him, Amanda. Use the psychology.
I'm like, what would Lucky Edie rock, paper, scissors?
That's a great question. I think it would be knife.
Do I think it? Do I overthink it? Or do I double think it?
Try quad thinking it.
I think you should think it so far that you circle back to your first thought, best thought.
Great. Okay. Ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Paper.
Fuck. I was going to choose fucking scissors.
Shit.
I let you
Beans.
down. I let you down.
No, it's okay.
I let you down.
It happens.
Teammates.
It's okay.
I landed this boat too good, and now we sat here, and she's going to come up on us. Fuck.
We all roll bad. We all pick the wrong card. Things happen. Look at Brandon, how he gave that nat 1 so that we lost the bullseye game thing.
It's very kind of you.
We all make mistakes, you know? I let a woman die, you know?
Here's what happens. Troy, you make an emergency push off of this craggy shore because you've pulled over into this cove. You got to like get back into the surf, and you are fighting against it. Also, not to go up against the tugboats. You're trying to get off and try to get as much speed as possible. Umbi, usually when you guys are about to pull some prank, it's usually Troy and Umbi doing it together, but Umbi is doing it by himself because Troy has to steer. So Umbi is putting all of these explosives into a barrel. It's taking longer than you need to. Umbi's trying to put as much stuff in a barrel. Only Troy knows how to put stuff in barrels.
Only Troy. No one else.
It's taking longer.
He's like, how do I open it? How do I open it?
Bar.
And the money tree is coming closer and closer and is within 1,000 feet, is gaining the speed on you as you have taken the time to pull the ambergris up, as you've taken the time to figure out the tugboat, to pull over with the tugboats, as you're making this emergency stop out. And that's when you hear as a grappling hook shoots out of the front of the money tree and slams into the back of the sea whip.
Cut it! Cut it!
I need Cammy to roll a d6.
Oh, boy. Okay.
As you two, so the money tree and the sea whip are attached by this grappling hook, and this is what you're coming up to in the final leg before you get to where Kidd Cervantes is.
Be free. A 2.
All right, we've already gotten a 2 and a 3, so Cammy, you can choose either a 1 or a 4.
I want the 1.
You want the 1.
Good choice. Good choice.
Good choice. Good choice. I'm with you.
As you are pulling away from this, you see that a bunch of ships flying the Diamond Knot flag and key retrieval unit have parked up on a sandbar and are letting one ship at a time go through as you see that people are jumping out. This is kind of like all happening. This is happening in speed. We're in like action movie speed as both ships are moving forward. The ships are parked up on the sandbar. They've kind of made a highway traffic stop on this sandbar as these like two islands are kind of coming together. There's a narrow channel. You see that a bunch of green folk are like hopping out, checking out these ships. You can either go through or you can try to take a long way around to avoid this key traffic stop.
I cannot believe we did this to ourselves.
And
I was
as
just thinking to myself, like, my motherfucking idea to do this as Cresco.
and as of course the money tree is still attached to you. Tell me first, what do you do in return to the key checkpoint, and then we'll figure out what to do with the grappling hook.
Here's one idea. I do have a potion of water breathing, right? So we could hold the keys or attach them to someone and throw that person behind the boat,
That's a great idea.
or holding onto the side of the boat underwater and go that way.
Potentially. I wanna get Lucky Edie off us and then go around. That's kind of like where my head's at right now.
I know. I can't really decide if it's better to evade or to fake our way through.
I think it's probably, if we can do it confidently, we should just go through. I think it's going to be faster.
I do have a 6th level spell that might be useful for us. for getting through there, but we need to get Lucky Edie off of us.
Let's go through.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go through.
All right, you can go through.
Yes, but we're allowed to like make actions.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Hide the keys and stuff, right? Is there anything that would that you have, Julia, that would help hide the keys?
We wouldn't need to hide the keys, assuming my thing goes the way I want it to.
Okay, let's do that then.
Let's do
I
that.
like that better.
Okay, do it. You're pulling up to the sandbar and you're slowing down.
Well, does going this route make the money tree retract their grappling hook? Because like you wouldn't like do your car chase through the highway traffic stop, right?
Well, the money tree kind of gets closer and closer to you, and then starts to slow up as well. As you're coming within like 100 feet, you see that Lucky Edie is standing on the front of the ship.
Great.
Be like, oh hi, you left and I didn't get a chance to say goodbye.
You want to come a little closer? I'll say goodbye for you.
Well, you're here at this stop, and as a, I think it's something I realize this is going to be a little bit of a surprise to you.
Turncoat, we know.
As a representative of the Diamond
As a
Knot,
representative of the Diamond Knot, I'm required to do a full investigation of your ship to see what keys that you have what keys you have here, because the Diamond Knot and the governments of all 4 of the countries of Vertistello, including the Crags, Troy,
Sure.
including Overstock, former representative Umbi, and including wherever you're from, Cammy.
Troy,
Cool.
Cammy, do we know this green folk?
I'm just gonna. You have to let me come on board and check out your ship. Check out your ship.
Oh, you specifically, Lucky Edie?
Yes, I'm known as a representative of the Diamond Knot. I'm required to make checks and searches of other pirate ships to see if they're harboring keys. And I know that you have at least one because you wouldn't have been at the meeting in the first place. And I know you have another one because you took the one that was supposed to be left for me.
No, we didn't.
Who are you?
Guess I'd rather be searched by the turncoat I know than the turncoat I don't.
Well, this is happening. Umbi just keeps saying, "What's happening?"
No, he understands what's happening. He's just trying to fuck with Lucky Edie.
Oh no, I know.
Okay.
It's the real edge when you have a bad grandpa. Where is the edge of whether he's doing it on purpose or not?
Yeah,
you really
exactly.
don't know.
Yes, my heart is beating so fast because I'm nervous that this is not going to go the way I hope it does.
The key recovery unit, the ship's a part of the key recovery unit, kind of motion you over to the side of one of these sandbars. Makes the sea whip pull up. There's enough slack now that the grappling hook is kind of just hanging there as the money ship comes up to the side of the sea whip. And God, the first time in this pirate campaign, we finally have some planks as Lucky Edie boards the sea whip and walks over, swinging her knife hand around. I don't need permission to come aboard. This is official Diamond Knot business. Please, it would just be easier if you showed me the keys that you had. Because I know you have at least one, if not 2, probably 2, to show them to me.
Can we see your identification, please?
Yes! And she pulls out, 100 pages of sheath, like a sheaf of papers, and, just hits you with it.
No!
It's like these! It's like these! All of these! These!
Thank you.
Edie, please don't threaten my crewmates. And then I'm going to use Hex. I'm going to use Peacebound on her.
So, do I know I'm being hexed?
That's a good question. It requires a motion. I don't mind if she knows that this is the case because it's not like a violent spell or anything like that.
Sure. Cammy, you can do whatever you want to me. Of course, I have backup, and I don't think you can slap everyone's swords and guns to their legs. But happy to oblige. It won't be a problem. But I'm going to be doing this stop under my jurisdiction because I know how you 3 of you and your doctor and the 2 different types of molds you have. I know what you do. I know
I'm
what you
racking
do.
my brain. I don't know when we've met before, though.
All right. All right.
Umbi, this is the person what I was afraid might steal my pillows, blankets, and socks. So I'm just gonna say I know how many pairs of socks I have, Edie. And so if you go through my cabin and you take any, I'm gonna know.
The first thing I'm going to is Troy's room. Lead me to it.
All right.
Okay.
This is my elaborate hammock for my pumpy son, whose name you've never asked for. But...
Lucky Edie's like kind of looking through the ship, poking through your stuff. First goes through Troy's room, kind of like throws everything over, like pulls all of your cabinets out, turns them over, pulls your hammock, pulls the pumpy's hammock down, roots through it, and be like, okay, not here.
I love the idea that you like look under a hammock as if it's
Yeah, like turn it all the way out. Yeah, looks through all of your rooms, and then says, so none of you sleep in the captain's quarters.
That's where the ghost
No,
sleeps.
it's haunted.
We're an egalitarian crew. There is no captain. I don't know if that's different on your
It's the ghost.
ship.
The ghost is the
No, I
captain,
sleep
yeah.
in I sleep in our captain's quarters.
Oh, so you're an asshole.
So
okay.
you're a ghost?
Mm-hmm.
I...
God.
All captains are ghosts.
You're an asshole
That's what we
ghost?
told Troy.
You know, all I did from the entire time that I've known you is try to be friends.
We just met.
She puts her hand. She puts a hand just pushing Umbi's face away. Be like, all I've done is try to hang out. We're on the beach whenever you guys are around. Whenever we're at the hold at the same time, I tell you about my stuff, and then you guys never tell me about your stuff. And I just like, where's the camaraderie? Where is it? But this is what happens. All right, I guess you're just jealous of all the cool stuff I get to do. Well, you're just off doing, I don't know, ruining tournaments and having the one true planter you're just messing around with there, and you have these come on, all I was doing is being nice, and all you were doing was feeling more superior to me, and I think that's kind of rude, and it shows the kind of green folk that this whole crew of this whole weird and terrible and falling apart. Why does this ship look so bad?
Oh, we're rude now?
Clean up your ship. It looks like garbage. It's always looked like garbage. Why does your ship always look like garbage? You've added like 3 new crew members.
Grosser outside, better inside. Baby.
Let me into the captain's quarters. I will leave.
Okay.
Cammy, we can't.
Cammy opens the door,
We can't do what? Cammy.
and as she walks in, Cammy casts Modify Memory on her.
Yo.
And because she is currently peacebound, she has to roll with a disadvantage because of my Insidious spell.
Holy shit.
All right, tell me about Modify Memory.
You attempt to reshape another creature's memories. One creature you see within range must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target becomes charmed by you for the duration. They are incapacitated, unaware of their surroundings, though they can still hear you. While this charm lasts, you can affect the target's memory of an event that it experienced within the last 24 hours, and that lasted no more than 10 minutes. You can permanently eliminate all memory of the event, allow the target to recall the event with perfect clarity and exacting detail, change its memory of the details of the event, or create a memory of some other event.
All right, tell me what you want her to believe.
I want her to... Would we prefer that... Because this is like one memory of an event within 24 hours. Do we want her to have checked here, not seen anything, and then, like, leave? Or would we prefer to have her remember that, like, we lost our maze key and Arello sold the other key to, I don't know, the resistance?
What if she has a memory that we got kicked out of the conference because we didn't have any keys? Our keys were fake. Like, yeah, Salix checked our keys and then determined they were fake and kicked us out.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Arello sold the key to somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on this, but I do want to consider, would it reduce her desire to search us next time if she thinks she searched the ship and found nothing? Or is knowing we have keys, but we hid them successfully, going to, like, grate on her? Like, we just open the door and she sees the captain's quarters, including, like, a weird, sheet-covered object, and instead she sees nothing, would be my suggestion.
Yes.
But then she still thinks and knows that we have keys.
Yeah.
So is it better for her to believe that we got kicked out of the conference for having fake keys?
Yeah, that was my thought process originally, was going to be like, oh, she saw, like, the zombies take our keys or something like that, you know?
I think it's better if she thinks that they're fake, because then if she sees them in the captain's quarter, she says, I know those have been fake. You know.
Right, and she also heard all of the rumors too about, like, I'm sure she heard through the grapevine all of the stuff about our, like, blueprints for keys kind of thing. So
Cool.
I love this. I think that's really cool because it also contributes to the fact that you guys are flim flam, which she already thinks. And
Yes.
that the thing that Salix said, and then Aurello sold it to somebody else. Sold the key
Yes.
of Thorn.
I'm down for that.
All right, let's go with that then.
Here's what I'm going to say, because I think this is what's going to happen from the situation that I've lined up. If Lucky Edie knows you tried to modify her memory and that this happened, she is going to send every single person onto this ship to grab all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do that. You guys can fight your way and try to fight your way out, but it won't. But you will be overwhelmed by the sheer number of people who will grab all of you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to lay down the stakes of what I'm going to do and what I think that, like, mechanically, numbers wise, this is what's going to go down.
What does she have to beat DC wise, Julia?
Yes.
A 15 with disadvantage for a wisdom save.
I think it's worth it.
Cool.
Okay.
This
Do we
situation we're
agree?
in.
Do we
Yeah.
agree?
Statistically, numbers are on our side.
Numbers are on our side, and this is the situation we're in. No one's gonna murder Troy. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do a jailbreak. It'll be fine.
Maybe we'll end up in the underwater prison. That'd be great.
Maybe that's been our plan the whole time, Eric.
Maybe it has.
That's
you don't
fine.
know. You don't know.
Let's do it.
Hey, Eric, could you just go ahead and not roll a 15 for me twice?
All right. I'm going to roll. What is this? Wisdom?
It is a wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
Okay. Lucky Edie is an important NPC. She knows how to do a lot of stuff. Cammy, what's your wisdom?
My wisdom is +3. I have a 16 to wisdom.
+3. Okay. If you have a +3, I would say Lucky Edie is a +2. She's not as good as Cammy, certainly.
My
I
heart is
think it's fair.
beating so fast. Okay.
2. All right.
So you have
Yes.
to roll below 13.
Well, no, I have to succeed. Yeah, I got to succeed twice, basically. Because if I roll below, that's what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Oh, shit.
Amanda, double check him.
Yeah. No. I wanted to pick a good die. Here, I'll roll the good one. I'll roll the gold one.
Okay, first roll's a 6. First roll's a 6.
That's a 6.
That means it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
It's automatically.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
it's
good.
disadvantage.
I had to roll. I had to roll a
It's
13 or above
disadvantage.
twice. I already rolled a
It
6.
works.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes.
a 6. Phew.
Jesus.
Wait, roll the second die. I just want to
I
see.
just want to
Yeah.
see.
Second one was a 19.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God I did the disadvantage. Oh, thank God.
More like unlucky Edie, am I right?
That was the most stressful spell I think I've ever cast.
Bro, you open the door to the captain's quarters, and I just think everything's sitting there, like the 2 keys, the mold.
Right.
There's a sheet over them we've established.
Right, sorry.
But it's very
there's a
clearly-
sheet. It's just a sheet.
It's very
over all
clearly
of them.
key shaped.
There's
yeah.
a
Yeah,
sheet, but
exactly.
please remember, charmed target is incapacitated and unaware of its surroundings.
And what she does is the door opens, and she turns around and says, "Oh, what am I even doing here? Lustrous recompense threw your asses out because you had fake keys."
Try to tell you, but you grappled us anyway.
You're wasting
So
your time. We
embarrassed.
tried to tell you.
And you tried to chase the Kraga separatist group that has the thorn key, and it's just embarrassing, really,
I know.
that you would have to put yourself out there right now. It's desperate. It's just desperate, really.
I
We're
can't
really
believe
thirsty.
you saw that.
And I could have helped you, but you turned me away after I gave you the green crowns of friendship.
All this, the hole doesn't even have a tailor anymore. It's a brutal day for us.
I know.
It's really desperate. All right.
Cammy looks at her best to look ashamed.
All right. I'd say on Diamond Knot business, I think as a representative of the Diamond Knot, of course, I would tell you that you must steer clear of the compost facility that is coming up. You'll see it from the lights that's all there. Just go on your way.
Okay.
And I'd really hope that I don't see any of your faces again. It'll be best for me and certainly best for you.
Just tell him we don't have any keys. God.
I
we've searched so many
am.
times,
I
it's
am.
tedious.
Troy, I am. Troy, your brother your brother misses you. I know I shouldn't say that. This is privileged information, but your brother misses you, and maybe you should just go home.
If he wants to talk to me, he knows where to find me.
No, he doesn't. What do you mean? You're a pirate.
Troy Riptide, open seas.
Ugh,
You know me?
I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of talking to you. You get me all annoyed. I'm like up here. You get me all up here.
It's because she has a crush on you, Troy.
God.
If you take
All right.
some deep breaths in and out. Okay, ready? With me?
She goes back up. She goes
Oh.
back up on
Wait,
deck.
Edie, before you leave, I'm sorry. I just wanted to, as a token of our apology for wasting your time. Havana, can I?
Umbi reaches his hand into Havana's coat pocket and pulls out a concoction that looks, smells, and tastes like a potion of healing, and says,
Here, just as like a token, like I'm sorry for wasting your time.
No, Umbi, we talked about this. Edie doesn't get presents.
No, it's
We
fine.
need those things.
All right, give me a deception check, you
Can I-
you idiot.
Yeah, can I give him an assist?
Yeah. All right. You have advantage.
well, that's a 19.
Nice.
Umbi, obviously your time in the government, even your terrible, rotting, senile brain, sometime maybe you remember what it's like to have class and decorum. Thank you. She takes the potion from you.
It's Havana, some of Havana's first tries. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's probably not gonna do as much as like the better ones, but like it'll still be.
Please
good, you know?
don't look a seaweed horse in the mouth. Please, I already took it. Disembarking as she walks.
Bye.
She walks back across the plank back to the money tree.
I think we see Cammy, Umbi, Troy, Havana all standing shoulder to shoulder on the deck of the ship, watching the money tree, retreat and turn around, sail off. And we're just like doing that thing where people you hate leave your house, where you're just waving and smiling and like through your clenched teeth whispering to each other like, that absolute jerk.
I need to nap for 10 years after that.
That was a potion of poison.
Right.
I love you, Umbi. Goodbye.
And the spot. I feel like there were like spotlight towers, on these two banks that are coming to each other. The lights lead you through, and the blockade moves. The Seaway moves through the traffic stop and sails onward. It's dark now. It's been a long few hours. And you see that there's a little town over to your left. There's a small coastal town in front of you on the left. You see that there are ships moving back and forth and back and forth and back and forth quickly. Because beside it, kind of on the other side of this little bay, is a massive dock with watchtowers and lights and all of these ships docked. And it's leading into this mountain where there's a hole carved in the mountain and a big gate and a sign next to it with lights underneath it so you can see it at all times. And it says, property of the Diamond Knot on behalf of the 4 countries of Vertistello. This is the Compost facility.